What's up, Transformers fans? Mondo the Dad Bottomist Prime here, and unfortunately for this Moonbase 84 transmission, we are still going to continue ranting about the whole Studio Series 86 Starscream debacle with Target and Hasbro. Now, by now, we all know that most of our, if not all of our, pre-orders were just canceled by Target for the Studio Series 86 Starscream, and actually on the original rant video, I got a couple comments asking if I was going to do a follow-up talking about that, and I was going to right away, but I decided to give it a few days to see if we heard anything from Target or Hasbro about the whole ordeal. And of course, as of the time of this recording, we haven't. And I'm really surprised that we at least didn't hear anything from Hasbro, because back when we had this type of debacle with the Studio Series MMTE Hot Rod, Target exclusive once again, I believe it was Nate, the marketing guy for Transformers from Hasbro, put out a statement saying not to worry, there are going to be plenty on the shelves, and that was in response to them putting up the pre-order for that hot rod and not really telling anybody. And of course they sold out really quickly before anybody even knew it was even up for pre-order. Now, as far as Target's end in the matter is concerned, Tron read somewhere, he's on vacation right now, but Tron passed along to me that he did see somewhere where some people reached out to Target, obviously angry about their orders getting canceled, their pre-orders getting canceled, and they were offering up $10 gift cards. That's according to what some things Tron saw online. So if this is the case and you happen to be watching this video and you are one of those people that they offered the $10 gift card, please comment to let us know. As for my experience with Target, it's funny. I mean, I know it's an automated website or whatever, but it popped up, please, for me, asking me if I would take a survey, to share a survey on my whole thoughts on the whole transaction, which I thought was hilarious, because who's going to give them a positive survey on something like this? But basically what it boiled down to is I gave them all negative marks in my answers. In my description, I put, don't offer up pre-orders if you're not going to fulfill them, or something to that nature. And then the last thing they wanted me to answer in the survey was, how do I plan to address the issue and what they could do, or something like that. And my answer was, I plan on never purchasing anything from Target again. So that was my experience with Target. It wasn't a live person. I just thought it was funny that a survey, after they cancel your order and screw you over, they want you to take a survey to let them know how they did. So yeah, this was a big FU to fans that want to support the Transformers line, Hasbro, and by extension, because it was at Target, and they basically said, F you, if you got a pre-order in, we don't care. We're gonna throw some stock around the country in our stores, and anybody that, wasted time pre-ordering, trying to get that in, because we know how stressful and sometimes hard that is, and it was very hard to get the Starscream locked in for pre-order. Many people missed out on it initially, just getting the pre-order. A big FU, but I'm wondering, ultimately, whose fault was this? Was it a Target thing, or was it Hasbro? In regards to just who is to blame, Target or Hasbro, I may have stumbled upon a little clue to shed more light on that. Now, apologies, because I can't give this person proper credit, and I heard something, this was from a YouTube channel, because I was at break, it popped up on my feed from a channel that I've never seen before, and the thumbnail was Target blames Hasbro for Starscream or something like that. So I was on break, clicked on the video, and watched the video, and he had said he had contacted customer service, and he said he had a nice conversation with the customer service representative, but what she passed along to him was that Hasbro basically didn't give them enough allocations to fulfill all of the orders, is what it boiled down to. I mean, there was a little more to it, but that's basically it. Hasbro didn't produce enough to fill all the orders, so they had to cancel things. And if you're the creator of that video, please, and you happen to see this video, please comment that you are the creator so you can get the credit you deserve. But even if this was the case and Hasbro didn't, produce enough or whatever for Target to fulfill the orders, that still doesn't excuse Target, in my opinion, in my book, to throw the rest of whatever stock they had in their stores instead of fulfilling our pre-orders. That's still not an excuse. But it's very interesting that, at least in this one instance, a Target representative is putting the blame on Hasbro. So once again, I'm interested to know if any of you who end up watching this video have contacted Target and heard something similar. Please share with us so we all know. And if that is Target's official position on the whole matter, I think it's funny that they are throwing Hasbro under the bus, or being like Starscream and tossing them out of Astro Train into the void. So for all of us that were screwed out of our Studio Series 86 Starscream, what can we do? Well, we can go to eBay and pay prices like this from these damn clowns, and yes, they're clowns. People who do this are so scummy. I can understand if it's a, a figure that hasn't been out in a long time, like a vintage figure or something, but people who just buy up all the stock to do this, they just suck. It's, get a life. I mean, there's a side, well, they, have a right to. Yes, they have a right to, but I think it's scummy because a lot of these people that do that aren't even fans or into collecting. I'm sure some are, but there's also a big majority that I'm pretty sure aren't, and they have their finger, on the pulse of what is, what they think is going to be popular, and they go and do this stuff, which is terrible. Now, it's your money, you can do what you want, but I personally am not buying. I don't buy anything from scalpers. People on my original rant video also mentioned that they were going to purchase from AliExpress, and thank you for dropping that information, or letting people know that Starscream is at AliExpress, because I didn't even think of that. Now, the price you see here for this particular listing on AliExpress for Starscream is $46. I think that's the lowest I've seen him when I looked, and then I saw as high as like 87, 88, somewhere in there. Now, but the thing is, you got to know is that $46 doesn't seem bad, but a lot of, like, almost all the listings, the cheapest, like, shipping was $25. So you're still paying, like, depending on, you're still paying like $70 plus for the Starscream, which, if you're in the market and you don't mind paying the higher price, like I said, it's your money, you do what you want, but I'd consider buying from AliExpress. For one, it's still cheaper than a lot of the scalper prices, as you saw the example I had up on the screen, but also you're not supporting the scalpers. Let those fools just sit on those Starscreams that they bought. Somewhere I read that someone was bragging they had 57 of them. I don't know how true that is, but they were bragging and asked, who wants to buy. I could see that being true. I don't know if he's trolling or not, but these scalpers do that. So if you don't mind spending the extra money for Starscream, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but my advice would be AliExpress over these damn scalpers. Other people in the comments mentioned that they were going to go the KO route, and that is a bona fide option. Just be cautious when you purchase KOs. There are some great KO companies out there that have quality stuff, but just be cautious. And as for me, right now, this is the option I'm considering the most. Definitely not considering a scalper. I am kind of considering the AliExpress, but KO is looking better and better every day. Some of you commented and said that you're going to go the patience route and wait for the inevitable new Coronation Starscream to be released. And in the heat of everything and my anger over it all, I didn't even consider or think of that they would do that. But that makes total sense, and I think the people that think this is going to happen and we're going to get a Coronation Starscream are right. I think we will, but it's going to be like a leader class plus. You're probably talking like $65, $70 is my guess, because of the throne and all that, which to me is kind of crappy, because if they were going to do a Studio Series 86 Starscream exclusive, which they did obviously, they should have had the Coronation at least be the exclusive and the base Starscream be, in your mainline Studio Series. So that way everybody had at least a chance to get a Starscream. So once again, a very scummy business practice on Hasbro's part, if that all pans out, which I would bet money that is going to happen, and we will see a Coronation Starscream. The people that commented, I think, hit the nail on the head. So in regards to this whole Studio Series 86 Starscream Debacle. That's as much as I've been able to find out so far. So please, if you have any information that I didn't cover in this video, feel free to comment to share with all of us. We'd love to hear, you know, any kind of information. As far as whose fault it ultimately is, to me, it doesn't really matter if it's Target or Hasbro or both. To me, it's just, this whole thing is just like a big kick to the skull to all of us fans. And this kind of stuff should not happen. And I think if Target and Hasbro are going to continue doing these exclusives, they need to have a meeting with each other, sit down and figure it out. Because you know what? Yeah, they're making their money for now. It's only going to be a matter of time before fans are just sick of it and just say, okay, we're not getting your exclusives. Because we already know that Hasbro down the road, it could be a year, could be 5 years, they'll find a way to get that Starscream out, I'm sure. So, but we want them now, obviously. But anyway, they'll probably come out with the dreaded, this is the definitive, they'll come out with the Coronation Starscream, and then they'll come out with the definitive Studio Series 86 Deco or something for Starscream, and they'll find something to say this is actually the best one if you follow their history, which again, they don't have their customers in mind. They have the almighty dollar in mind, which is understandable for a business, but ultimately they're just thinking short term, because in the long term they are damaging their reputation with crap like this each and every time they do it. And a lot of fans have been walking away for some time now, and this just was another reason to push more fans out. So it's unfortunate, and it's a really stupid business model on Hasbro's part, not thinking long term. Quickly, I also wanted to mention that I haven't forgotten the reissue of the Studio Series 86 Prowl, because the same situation happened with him, and that all went south too. Just like with the Starscream, I had both of them canceled, as did almost everybody else as well. So I just wanted to put that in there. I haven't forgotten about Prowl. And so as I wrap up the video, I'm going to say this is probably the last time I'll talk about it, unless something happens like Hasbro comes out with a statement. Then I might revisit it to share my thoughts on that with all of you guys. But for now, until that happens, if it happens, I'm done with that. Done with this topic, at least for now, and on to more positive videos. And let's get back to trying to enjoy our fandom and our collecting. I know it's hard when such a main character, a key character, we all get screwed out of, but let's try to find some joy in it, in other aspects of the fandom. So until the next video, comment your thoughts as always. As always, thanks for all the support. And as the final, as always, thanks for docking.